Holy phalanx, we are live. Welcome to the Chain Dogs podcast, where we talk about everything theme parks and roller coasters from all around the world. Thanks for joining us. Hello, everyone. We good?
Hi.
What's up, homie?
How are you? Where have you been?
I've just been hibernating. I've just not been here.
Kyle's been here every week.
I know.
Where-
Even when we didn't go
Even-
live, he was
even
just waiting for
skiving.
us. Yeah,
Basically.
You've been in that chair for months.
yeah. I know, right?
I never leave this chair. I work from home.
There you go. It's poison ready.
I'm a restaurant server.
Oh, hope you're all good.
Welcome, everybody.
Yeah. I've decided to join just as the proper close season starts. Officially this weekend, the UK close season. But apparently there isn't a close season. That's what I got told. You can just go to other countries, because we can all do that.
Oh.
Yeah, 'cause
We can all just go and travel.
flights are cheap these days, right? Like,
Yeah.
I go every week.
We'll all be in Canada next week, Mikhail. That's where we're all spending close season.
Yeah. Where McCall
You'd be better off in England, honestly.
I was going to say, like, you're so far away from anything.
Yeah. In terms of
Where
getting
is your nearest theme park?
It's PNE Playland it's in Vancouver. It's
Oh,
many-
okay.
how-
Yeah.
How many hours away is that?
the tiniest park you've ever heard of. So,
I kind of meant like, a theme park,
like major one
amusement
is
park. Yeah, major.
like major like notable amusement park or theme park is Silverwood in Ohio, Idaho, even.
Ohio, that's close.
I wish I was closer to Ohio. Yeah, no, Silverwood in Idaho is like 7 or 8 hour drive away or something like that.
God.
We moan about like Oakwood, man.
That's like me
Yeah.
driving to Plopsaland from here, like 7 or 8 hours. Absolutely not.
Very true, Matt. Just get straight in.
Gold Rush is open for winter at
Gold Rush
Drayton,
is
right?
open. Yeah. I was
Might have to go because I still have not got the cred.
How dare you?
Have you not been down there?
I am the worst enthusiast in the world. I've not even got the wave cred.
And you give me shit for having not gone across the country to go
Right,
to Canada's
you know
Wonderland.
me and how I can't drive for shit. So an hour and 45 minutes is a long way for me, Mikhail. It's stressful. I have to go through a toll.
Get a car to drive.
The point is you can
A
drive.
car to drive. I'm
because
mad.
You can drive because like you passed the most recently. So
Yeah, but I don't. I mean, I've been driving 18 months and I still don't like it. Like I'm frightened every time I turn the engine on. It's horrible. I don't like. I don't understand how people enjoy it.
I love driving.
I love driving.
I like driving if I don't have to go down any road that's got more than 3 lanes. So if I get to a junction on a motorway that's got 84 lanes and a roundabout that's my head explodes. I'll burst into tears.
I used to think there were motorways just like in England with that like just constantly had like 6 lanes to them until I started driving and I realized it's just like slip roads and shit.
It's terrifying. I don't get it. Roundabouts are mine. Nemesis.
Do you prefer Sean? Do you prefer driving in like mainland Europe or driving in England? Obviously,
I'm in Europe because it's like the
Yeah.
roads are just so good. Like
Yeah.
they're just the way they're meant to be.
And it seems everybody understands how to drive in Europe as well.
Honestly,
like on the motorway, people just
Like,
understand
outside,
how a
outside
motorway
of
works.
like driving on the autobahn, because that's obviously like one of the most
Yeah.
fabled driving experiences you can have. But
It's
like,
so
just
good,
driving
yeah.
in general.
I couldn't think of anything worse. It confused the shit out of me. Like going the other way around a roundabout, absolutely no chance.
See, like now that I'm used to driving on the other side of the road, 'cause I drive here, like I want to try, like I want to do a road trip in Europe somehow and drive over there.
Yeah, it's great. I love driving in Europe. It's just the roads are so good. Everyone drives properly most of the time. And it's weird, like there's hardly like any traffic. Like when there's a crack, like we went when we was last time we was driving in Germany. No, it was when we was driving through France. A car had like full on like flipped over, but then everyone was just on the motorway, and it caused like no congestion. Everyone's just
You're not nosy bastards like the Oregon.
Yeah,
like
like,
people that
you know
have
what
to
I mean?
just go 4 miles an hour past any form of incident on the motorway.
Nah,
That's my pet peeve on the
Mm.
I don't like motorway driving, but I hate being stuck in traffic for no fucking reason. If I'm on the motorway, out there, get to the incident, and there's fuck all there for a start.
Yeah.
Down. It's not even interesting to look at, but we've all slowed down to have a look.
It's like you'd be on a long stretch of motorway and you've been stuck in like really slow moving traffic for like 20 minutes, and then all of a sudden like everyone just magically speeds up again. It was like,
Yeah,
what were we
like,
stuck for?
What are we doing?
What were we?
It makes me so mad. It took me 2.5 hours to get over from Alton Towers the other week for that reason. I was like, what? It must be something really bad. No, it was fucking nothing.
It was nothing.
Well annoyed.
It was literally nothing.
Anyway, we're going off on a tangent.
It's weird because when you're driving in Europe and you come back to the UK, like especially if you're driving, like if you're getting on like you're coming from France and you're driving onto the Eurotunnel, come back over, you realise like how terrible like condition our roads are. Like literally just like bumpy potholes. I know, just moaning about potholes is just so cliche, but it's so true. You don't realise how bad our roads are until you go to.
Well, I never noticed potholes until obviously I started driving, and they're awful. I never we don't take a notice. I barely knew where I was going. You know what I mean? But yeah,
Imagine Emma just swerving potholes like, get me off.
I do, because my car's ancient. I can't afford to hit a pothole in my car. It's game over. Like it's barely got any suspension as it is. It's hanging on.
That's funny.
Matt saying, have you seen they're moving the Flying Dutchman? I'm guessing the Flying Dutchman from Drayton Manor and not Efteling, because that would be hard to move.
The whole
We should move it to.
Yeah, apparently.
Where's it going? Does he say?
I don't know. Matt said there's a 5-year plan. This is complete. I don't know if this is 100%.
Just making it up, man.
Well, the 5-year plan said a ride relocation and a new platform, flat ride on the site. So I'm just putting 2 and 2 together. It would be better to like move Flying Dutchman to the pirate area and then have a proper pirate area.
It would make sense. It's a boat, so
yeah. I think that'd be really.
Oh,
good.
is that what Flying Dutchman is? The pirate ship on the river?
No, it's like you sit in the boats and swing around like a chair swing, but a boat.
I'm pretty sure the model is called like a Flying Dutchman. Like it's like one of the oldest rides at the park.
Just gets like that, mate.
Is it actually called a Flying Dutchman? I think that's what it is.
Too
It's like when
high.
Enterprise is called Enterprise. You know. I'll get a picture up and you'll know what I mean. It's one ride I don't go on very often, and it's actually pretty fun.
I don't ride it. I don't like rides like that. I don't like the chair swings. I don't know. Too far off the floor for my liking.
That thing, McCall.
Oh, okay. Okay.
You got like strings and it just flies you around.
Yeah, awful.
It's good.
Looks like a souped up wave swinger.
Anything that is held on by chains is a massive no for Emma.
They're taking the whole structure down. Bearing in mind, I was there like a few days ago and obviously did not notice.
To be fair, last time I was there, they'd taken the boats off.
They always give it like a.
But they put it back again.
Yeah, but it's weird for the whole structure to be down, I think. But yeah, there we go.
Yeah, Joe, our Chain Dogs elf is gallivanting at Disneyland Paris currently.
Yeah. Luke and James are at Disneyland Paris, which I didn't know about, and then apparently I should have known about it because I just have their diary like in my phone. Like I don't know if
it sounds like a skill issue.
Well, a skill issue, knowing where James and yeah, yeah. It is always. Claire said it's always implicit. It is always like broken down. Like it's I think it's an old ride. Bless it. Let's get on to news then. I know you guys talked about it last week, but Alton Towers' new top spin has finally been like revealed.
So
go on.
I keep hearing different things about this model. Is it is it the same model as Talocan, or like a
I
slightly?
don't know, even the
smaller?
Lupin's article said similar to Telekin, so I don't know.
Until we've got.
similar in the
Where
sense
can
that-
you find specifics?
It will be. I mean, Coasterpedia is pretty good in terms of they list all the
Have a
flat
look.
rights, and they normally say they're normally pretty reliable.
Right. Talk amongst yourselves. I'll be back soon.
Oh, here we go. I've got the photo. Found the photo. Found the photo.
Yes, we have a gondola.
Mm.
It's
So that
exciting.
was what they.
Yeah, so similar in the sense that it has the rows like one row facing forwards, the other the second row facing back.
Mm.
But I keep hearing talk about it like being maybe like a revised model, like one that's slightly smaller, maybe one that can fit on the because it's on like a raised platform, isn't it? With the
Yeah, it's quite far off the ground.
with the path underneath it.
Yeah, they yeah, these top spins, man. A lot of iPhones, they have a new version like every year, don't they? Just like,
Yeah.
Coasterpedia does not have the facts. We don't know how big it is or what model.
Adds
We just know it's us. We knew that already, Coasterpedia.
Ads is saying the only difference is the towers restraints. Oh, the towers restraints are updated. So that's cool.
Yeah.
No, I'm
excited. I like top spins. I like flat rides. I like Talocan. So if we can all just hope and pray that it runs as good as Talocan, then everyone will be happy.
It has the same long ass ride cycle.
Did you share
Fantasyland for just reopening Talocan recently as well?
Mm-hmm.
Did you see this? What Thrill Nation shared from the park run at?
Running underneath. Yeah, it perplexed me. I was saying that last week. I was like, if I was timing myself running, and then all of a sudden I was running up to that and be like, "Holy shit!" I'd have to stop. I'd ruin my whole time.
You know what? That tunnel is begging for a diss track to be made in it. Bit of graffiti.
Yeah.
You've got a great diss track location there.
I did say it last week. It looks like just like a motorway bridge underpass or something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like that
looks
one where you have
dodgy.
to like slightly like start walking a bit faster just in case.
Yeah, there's definitely crackheads and all sorts down there. It'll smell like wee.
And I was about to say when it comes to diss track season, like there'll probably be hella graffiti all over the walls on that shit anyway.
God, yeah. Hope not.
Like random teenagers will take care of that for us. We won't even have to worry about it.
I just cannot believe, like, in this day and age, like someone has not like come up with, like, because there's like anti-graffiti paint, but it doesn't work because they use it and it just doesn't work. Like, how has someone not come up with something so far?
What, that you can't draw on?
Yeah, something you literally can't draw, scratch, or anything off. Like,
I mean, as much as graffiti and queue lines, like, I don't agree with it, blah, blah. It has, however, on the other hand, provided me with so much entertainment when I'm in a long queue. There's nothing I love more than reading some of the stuff that people write.
have you ever looked up people's actual like Snapchat? Well, not Snapchats, but like TikToks and Instagrams? I've done that before.
I've texted a few people.
Have you got
Passes
replies?
the time.
Oh God, yeah.
Most people just be like, "Who's this?" I was like, "Boo."
Mad. But yeah, that's news on the top spin. That's really it, really. I don't know why I called the entire podcast after. It's not that much more information.
No, I'm just I'm looking at the like just like how they decided to color it basically. I feel like there should be just a little bit more like just hazard taping, like graphics somewhere.
I've been seeing a lot of people saying like how it doesn't fit in Forbidden Valley, and that it should have been red and stuff. And trust me, as someone who like I don't think there's anyone out there who's like filmed that area as much as I have in the last year. It's too red. Like we have to.
Yeah, I agree.
it looks good most of the time to most people, but as soon as you like get a camera out and you start like even taking photos, like it needs a bit. I think it needs a contrasting color to go
something
in
to
there.
offset the
Yeah,
redness.
because it's dark and foreboding at night. It's cool, but like it needs something else. Like I think having another color. Like I was a bit skeptical when I first saw like the colors going, like especially that with the green light that they were putting up and the green video that went out. I was like, it looked very like X Sector or like Ministry of Joy to me, but I'm kind of like just having faith in that. Like when it finally is here, it should contrast with it quite nicely, I think.
And I think
the Towers know what they're doing. They've got a vision, and if you look at the rest of Forbidden Valley, they know what they're doing. So I have faith that it'll all tie together.
Yeah, and I think that like to contrast to your point, like to contrast like the amount of red in that area, like it needed to be a bold color as well. Like it needed to be a bold shade of green, right? Like if it was just like a muted green, I'm someone like I mean, not to get into like all art nerdy conversation and stuff, but I generally prefer darker shades of green than that. But for something like this, to your point of providing a contrasting just piece of imagery in the area, like it needed to be like that, like a lighter, more like just a brighter shade of green. I just think that towards the bottom of the gondola, it's just like a block of green. Like it could have done with something on top of it to like make it not just look like a block of green, just like going around the gondola and stuff. Well, yeah, going around its cycle. But yeah, I think it'll settle in like nicely into the area.
Yeah, and we also don't know what like other theme elements might be going in front of certain.
Yeah.
Like it might not just be blocks, and I mean the gondola is the gondola really, but like obviously when you see it all as one unit, I think it'll be good. Like we needed something. I mean, like you think about all the colors you could put in there. Green's probably the best one to put in there because it is just black. Forbidden Valley is black and red. That's it.
Yeah,
it's just. I think it will be a nice little pop. So.
Do we know much about like? Does it have like much of a narrative behind it as an attraction?
We don't know yet.
Okay, all right.
We don't know. It's too early to tell.
But yeah, I'll be interested to see what kind of theatrics go into it as an attraction, even if it's like Ripsaw had the water fountains and that's all it needed.
Yeah.
Like,
Matt said, imagine how far the sick will spread if someone is ill mid-cycle from the top of that bridge.
That is going the distance. There's going to be like a full-on splash zone in front of that ride, like danger zone.
Yeah.
It reminds me, when I was a kid, I went to a fun fair in Rhyl, and I was in the queue for the Miami ride, and you queue in front, and as it got to the top, someone threw up on the top. And it just rained down on the I imagine it would be similar. I was really upset. I cried. I must have been like 7 at the time, and my dad got well mad. He had to take
the horror
for a wash
of just seeing that just flying through the air.
It was like, but there's nothing you can do about it. And it does. That's what it's going to be like.
Oh my god! I guess it's fitting the color then. Claire, yeah, I was thinking the same thing. If this has like a vivid bright green imagery, obviously Nemesis is black and red, and then whatever Galactica turns into has like a really vivid, like bright blue to it as well. They go just full RGB colors with it in the entire area. But I like the idea of
what Claire said, like just making each. Yeah, it'll make that area look a lot more different. If,
I was responding to a comment.
Oh, sorry, I thought.
But I like that. I do like that idea.
Right, so as we're on the topic of towers, some big news from Merlin came today is that Scott O'Neill is leaving the company. and he's been in the role about 2 years now, I think.
Yeah, not long at all.
So yeah, he's the CEO, and Fiona Eastwood has stepped in the interim. So a bit of a shocker because, like I say, it's there's big plans when he first come about, and we did see a lot of change. Within that time he was coming up. Where obviously a lot of these plans had already been put in place before he started, but there was a lot of change from when Scott started.
Someone more clued up than me is going to have to fill me in. Like, are we? Is this a good thing? Is it a bad thing? Are we fans of this change? Are we fans of him being?
It seems to me like
not of Merlin anymore.
2 years is not a long time to be in that sort of job role. Like that could, in my opinion, if you've got that job, you want longevity. So it does. It makes me wonder, like, what's happened? What's made him be like, do you know what? This isn't for me. Has something happened, or has it been? It could be something simple as he's just been offered a better job. I don't know, but it seems interesting that it's only been 2 years.
I have seen comments throughout this season of like management is forgetting about the guest experience at Towers. Like Scott O'Neill don't know what he's doing. Like yada yada.
People say that shit all the time, though, don't they? Like it could be going bloody swimmingly, and somebody will have a whinge about it. But
yeah, it's just ridiculous. Like people, I mean, I know, like I work with Merlin and stuff, so obviously you can choose to like ignore what I'm going to say, but you can't say that like the last 2 years. Like people saying like this year has been, for example, Alton Towers' worst year. I'm like, it's not. So many people have said that. I'm like,
some people are very dramatic.
Last year we didn't have Nemesis. Do you know what I mean? Like, so how is that even true? We have like two, like with Curse as well, with and everything. We have two massive, like really good rides, and the theming on them is like so good. I think if you look at Merlin, like just like 3 years ago, like it's improved. I mean, look at Thorpe Park. Like I went to Thorpe Park this year for the first time in a couple of years, and it's a different park, and it's like so much. It's so nice now. Hyperia obviously is a big influence on that, but even just like all the facilities are just a lot nicer, a lot cleaner. Yeah, everything is looking better. So like to say like Scott O'Neill, like you don't know what his role, you don't know what he's been doing behind the scenes and things like that. It's still a lot of way. It's still a way to go. Obviously, the food issue is a big thing for a lot of people going to the parks. But yeah, it's one of them. I can't. It's hard to, like you said, Emma. Like after 2 years, you don't really know how much impact he's had. Because how do you know? Like when you're talking about a theme park, things are planned like years in advance.
Well, that's it. In terms of big changes that we've seen, there's probably nothing to do with him. He's just overseeing it as it's come to fruition. But obviously, he'll have done bits behind the scenes or bits we don't see and stuff like that that we might not get to appreciate as guests. It might be more of like an infrastructure thing with staff and that. But 2 years isn't a long time. So nobody knows and nobody will know why or what's happened or stuff. But I don't know. It does make you wonder. And I think as an enthusiast as well, it makes you wonder because you just think, like I said, it could be something really simple. You just don't want to do it anymore. But I don't know. It'd be interesting if we ever find out.
I mean, at the end of the day, like he came from like a sporting background, like so he may have just literally thought this like industry is not for him. Like it's very like fast moving, it's very competitive, it's very new news like driven and things like that. It's very, very fast paced.
It just might not be it's not cracking up to what he thought it'd be. He must have thought like he had obviously certain transferable skills, but then if you've got if you don't know now about theme parks, I suppose it makes it quite difficult.
So as well, maybe. So I don't know. It's a hard one, but Yeah, I think in the UK, I've just seen the last like year or so, like it is just a thing, just to hate on Merlin. It's been like that for a long time because I get that they are the monopoly, but yeah, it's like there's some things I agree with, like rooms for improvement, but then there's just like silly things like where I'm like, I can't even think of anything.
I think it just falls down to, like, say, with Merlin and people picking at the bones, so to speak. Same with Pleasure Beach. I think just like parks that you say, like the bigger parks, just seem to get, I don't know, more hate. When's the last time you heard someone go, do you know what, Pleasurewood Hills, what a fucking shithole? Like, what? Do you know, people don't, because it's a smaller park and you don't talk about it, you don't hear about it as much. It's still there. You know, it's probably more poorly run than some of these other places you're whinging about.
But I mean, like
Merlin's Merlin, so people are going to moan.
I mean, if you look on it, like there's every theme parks and theme park operators literally can't do anything right. Like you do one thing right and then something else isn't right. So it's just like a never ending thing. But I don't know. That's my opinion. That's my opinion on it. Like,
and that's
it was like the Pleasure Beach thing as well, you know. And look, I don't work with Pleasure Beach, so I've got nothing. I didn't have nothing.
Slag them off.
Like, no, I just don't think Pleasure Beach are as bad as people say they are either.
I know. Like I said, I think it just goes part and parcel as being one of the biggest parks in the UK, along with like the Merlin parks.
People just don't agree with like the owner, you know, on things like she says and things like that. And I'm like, yeah, but it doesn't take away like the rides that they have. They're still the same.
The thing with Pleasure Beach at the moment is that everybody's having a whinge, you know, this year, the last couple of years. But then when you look at the bigger picture, it's like, okay, all the money they spent on Valhalla, they got Valhalla. Imagine they just closed Valhalla and was like, you know what, we can't be asked. So they spent millions of pounds on doing that. Then they've just took out the Grand Prix because obviously something big's going in there. They're refurbishing Ice Blast at the moment and stuff like that. So in reality, the work is getting put in. Okay, like the guest experience at the moment might not be the greatest, but you can't fault the park on like moving forward. I know it's been a good few years with Pleasure Beach.
Yeah, like what? But my thing is like, why is the guest experience like? What is it about the guest experience that isn't good? Because the Grand Prix, like no one rode the Grand Prix. It's always had the shortest queues, and then suddenly it closes, and everyone's like, "What the hell are you doing?"
People are looking at it as like maybe like from a heritage ride point of view, but at the same time, if they're going to put like a stonking big coaster in there, like people are soon going to shut up about bloody Grand Prix, aren't they? Like nobody will give a fuck what's in this brand new ride.
Yeah, even in addition to that, like when people talk about the things attributing themselves to the guest experience, only talking about in terms of with Pleasure Beach, it's more so the like I guess just for example, like the fact that there isn't a ticket to get into the park where like a non-ride entry ticket or something like that. Like, and like I've heard that be mentioned a lot about like how that family members used to take advantage of that and use that for just to be able to walk around the park, but like if they didn't want to ride anything.
I get that though, and I understand because like my memories as a kid, you know, we just walk into Pleasure Beach, do a couple of rides and walk out, even sometimes not do any, and I bet a lot of people did do that. Like my mum would probably go and have a walk around, but I think from a business point of view, when you look at every other theme, well, most other theme parks in the UK, you can't walk around that for now. So from a business point of view, if they want to make more money, they're going to do it. But I could still understand why people will be like,
But they could.
Well, even with that, they've just released that non-rider season pass thing.
Yeah,
is that for next year?
So that's for next year, and it seems like it's a tester.
Yeah,
but if it is a tester, it's the wrong way to test something because people who are going to be buying like their like non-rider passes are going to be day guests, like people who will just turn up on the day.
That's what.
Or they'll be like, oh, like you know,
it seems like they want to see how many people want for that to be an option, like a consistent option throughout a season.
I just think it's.
But I agree. Like a better way to do it would just be
I think with that Pleasure Beach. I mean, we go on to Pleasure Beach chat now, but I think with that they just need to like. I think they need to stop comparing themselves to parks like Merlin. and be like, they're a seaside attraction. Yeah, they're big. They're a big attraction. And they're the biggest like seaside thing, but they are, and the culture of the UK has always been like, let's walk in the park and see what we want to ride. Obviously, I don't think they should go back to like going pay per ride, because I just don't think that will work in this day and age there anyway. And plus, like we've said before, it attracts too many like hen do's and stag do's, people who may have had too much to drink, and then it just like lowers the tone of the whole park because families want to go there and stuff. But yeah, offering that non-rider, I do think is key, because like, you know, grandparents want to go and like spend the day with their family, their grandkids.
That's exactly it. My mum would love nothing more, she said, to come and have a walk around the Pleasure Beach and watch, because obviously I tell her all the time about going with her grandkids and stuff. She's not going to pay 50 quid on the day to get in. She's just not.
And think about all them like coffees and teas that the grandparents are going to be buying on the park, and like they're not going to be riding.
Yeah, they all spoil the grandkids. The candy floss and sweets and toys and all sorts of shite.
And that can be a thing, like you said, like to the culture, to the cultural behavior of theme park goers in England, like that can be a thing. Like people, like you said, like they'll get into the park and you're like, oh, let's see what we want to ride today. Like, and if nothing, then it is what it is. And like that can be a thing, and that can be facilitated for. But then also to the point of people's comments on guest experience, I guess the requirement to have to take out your phone to scan your ticket every time you want to ride something as well. Yeah, that's been something that I've seemingly forever now seen commented on in a negative light. I'm thinking of like guest experience complaints that people have had, and it is kind of annoying, honestly.
Well, it makes no sense, because if there's no non-rider pass, why are they there? The only reason they're there is so Pleasure Beach can tell like who has ridden what. So like they can literally like go. If someone goes to the box office and goes, I've not got anything today, it's too busy, they look at their pass and go, no, you've had like 15 rides on Icon. So like that in my opinion, that's probably the only reason they still use it. But that's what I mean, like it's all set up for them to do non-rider passes, so why not just do it? Like why put us through the awkwardness of like having to scan stuff all the time? Like there's got to be one.
There's nothing worse than scanning your phone when it's bloody cold and wet, and you've got to dig around in your handbags for a woman, and like dig around in your handbag to find your phone and get it out in the rain, and then.
Well, I'm just constantly talking to people, so I'm talking blah blah blah, and then suddenly I'm like, oh shit, I need to get my phone. I need to.
And then you get stink eye because you're holding the queue up, and you're like, everyone relax, okay? It's not my rule.
Half the time they've got someone standing by it who shows you how to scan the phone, so that's just
because they don't work.
There's a wasted person just standing there, like when I don't know. It's just a bit.
Then they have you like they go to show you have to move your phone at like this angle, this far back.
Turn your phone brightness up. I'm like, I've got it on automatic. Oh, it's just so annoying. It's just so annoying. But yeah, but you know they're like little niggles. But on the whole, I think I've said it 100 times now. But people in the UK, they go to these parks too much, and they're going to see the bad points of it.
And like to round it all up is like to that point of like going to these parks too much. Like, how much of it do you attribute to, you know, in terms of quantity of, you know, like major park options to get to, ours is still lower than Europeans, like the options that Europeans have to get to throughout continental Europe, than the amount that Americans have to get to throughout at least the East Coast of the US, the East Coast and Midwest and stuff. Like, how much do you attribute it to a grass is always greener kind of mentality towards like the options in the UK versus the options in the US? And I ask that question because of the proclivity of people to go to other countries both ways, both from Europe to America and from America to Europe, because I see all that as well. Americans saying the same thing about all of their Six Flags parks, all of their Cedar Fair parks, and then coming over to Europe and saying, "Oh, Europe's got so much better parks, like all our parks, like, you know what I mean?" Like, I see the kind of same behavioral traits in at least enthusiasts, but kind of in people in general, really, like, towards what is their own.
It is that, and nothing brings me more joy than seeing, like, especially I watch a lot of American. If I ever see an American vlogger that I sometimes follow go to Alton Towers or Thorpe Park or something like that, I love watching it because I just love seeing it from like a fresh pair of eyes.
And more times than not, they big it up.
They
like,
literally,
I'm seeing more and more Americans go over to Towers and go over to Thorpe and having like it's enjoying the place.
Yeah, like
and having a great time.
I loved watching Jackie Super Infused vlog from Tower. Every time she goes to Towers, like it's like one of her favorite places ever. Like she's like, and who was its vlog I watched? You know that guy who's always in Coaster Studios vlogs as well. Adventures with Alex.
Yeah.
So he went to Alton Towers, and it was just good seeing it from that because they're just like, I can't believe, especially when they're American, they're like, there's like a literal castle. Obviously, I think it's a castle in a theme park, a real castle. And it's got all like, and it's, I don't know, it's just, it was like watching Coaster Studios go there for the first time years ago, and it was just like, what? We can't see any coaster, like, and it makes me appreciate the parks a lot more because I'm like, yeah, we're just so used to it now.
There's more and more of them every year. Like I've seen, I don't know if anyone in the chat watches like Coaster Dash or National Coasters. Like they did a huge, massive Europe trip over the summer. I think it was. Went to Towers for the first time. Loved both days they were there. Went to Thorpe for the first time. Loved Thorpe. Like there's like the same. It's the same thing as when Americans go over to when English people go over to Universal for the first time, or like go over to Cedar Point for the first time, and they love it there as well.
Yeah, I think everyone just becomes very complacent with what they have, don't they? So, and especially British people, we love a good moan. So it could be the best place in the world. We're still going to win about it.
And the funniest thing is, I always notice it when people when they start traveling, where they go like, so when people start going to like parks outside of the UK, or they go there quite a lot, you know, they're going to go to the ones that they're going to prioritize parks, obviously. So they're going to go to like Phantasialand, they're going to go to Europa Park, and then they end up comparing like the top, like the parks that are in like the top 5 top 5 theme parks with UK parks, and I'm like, that's like comparing like Six Flags, like a local Six Flags park to like Universal. Do you know what I mean? Like, so comparing them is like 2 different things, you know. But I think, you know, we haven't, me and Joe, we haven't done a ton of parks, but we've been to enough like different parks in different parts of the world to kind of appreciate them all for what they are. Like for example, we love Efteling, but then when we went to I can't remember now. I've lost my trail of thought. Let's move on. I can't remember the name of the park I was going to say. It's in my head. We'll come back to it.
I will just say I don't think there has been a weirder moment for me. This is kind of off topic, but like there hasn't been a more surreal moment for me in terms of watching theme park vlogs than seeing Taylor and Sarah from Coaster Studios at Flamingo Land. Not only at Flamingo Land, fucking an hour from where I grew up, but then also getting the what's the name of the bus? The Coast Rider bus over to York.
Yeah,
the same Coast Rider bus that I used to get to go to York College. I was like, why are two elements of like just my being just clashing together right now?
Oh my God, yeah, that's such a weird thing, isn't it?
That was so surreal. seeing part of the vlog like in York and on the Coast Rider, but on the Coastliner. That's it, not Coast Rider. The Coastliner bus. I'm just like, this is fucking weird.
It is weird. Talking about buses, I saw a. Have you seen the Alton Towers coach?
No.
It got posted. Like, there's an actual coach that's like plastic. You know, like when you see like the Efteling coaches.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And it's got like a picture I took of Bluey like a while ago, and I was like, "That's my Bluey picture on the side of a coach."
On this stagecoach bus.
I was like, "This is so weird." Anyway, let's go on to our next one. Yoy at Wallaby Holland.
Yeah.
I can't not think of that video now every time I hear that of that woman. That woman doing the speech like recognition thing, and at the end she goes, "Yay!"
That's like a dispatch audio, definitely, isn't it? Yay! So,
Oh, hilarious.
this is
God.
mind blowing. I don't understand what I'm looking at.
What is it? What is it? Why is it silver? Why?
I make out what it is, because to me it looks like green and then like a
Stupid.
silver branch with leaves.
Yeah, but why is it metal? Why is it silver? We've had this conversation beforehand, right? Why is it not green?
Why is the green on the nose a different shade of green to the green on the rest of the car?
It could be a. I mean,
So
it could
many
be lighting,
questions.
but that definitely looks different to me.
Why is the other cars blue? What's the theme? What's happening?
Oh, yeah, that's very true. Is this like a that dress, the the white or blue dress thing? Is it like I don't know, because that other train is a different
Golden
color,
white.
so they might have the same color noses of that green, but then they're like different color.
Who signed off on this? Because it's trash. Let's be honest. I mean,
what's going on? I don't know what's happening.
why? I don't
What-
understand.
what
Why
year
it's
is
like it's got rolled up tinfoil on the front. That's what it looks like.
Where is it? Where am I?
It looks like you know when like a
Where
like when a kid
Where
makes
we-
a paper mache balloon thing and then decorate it, and you're like, that
Mhm.
looks so good, and you're like, but what is it though?
It's like, when a kid does something and they're like really proud of it, and you're, oh my god, yeah, what is it? I do that all the time. Like this, look at this, yeah, very nice. Oh my god, it's so good. I don't know what it is.
Does anyone know what Yoi is like in terms of like what its theme is meant to be? Because I have no
Bart.
idea.
Does it have one?
Where are you, Bart? You will know the answer.
Oh,
But like having that kind of garish like leaf design, surely they've got to be something on there, like some kind of theme. Because I know like Untamed is quite a loose theme. I mean, and it's like a wilderness theme, isn't it? Basically, that's what it is. But yeah, I don't really get it.
Matt said I'm usually open-minded and okay, so like jokes aside and everything. Like Matt said I'm usually open-minded and say we need to wait and see in situation before judging and stuff like, but not this time. I actually disagree. As we were saying this before we started recording, I actually think they'll look better on the track. Like when you actually see like the entire train like constructed and we see them on the track, I actually think they'll at least look like in keeping. Like these like head-on shots that we get like the first time seeing the trains are always it's always either one way or the other. We always either love it or think it's the worst thing on planet Earth. And then we see them on the tracks for a few times and we're just like, yeah, all right. Like
nah,
right, so Bart says there's no theme yet. Like what even could that be? If you had to sit there and go,
That's what they keep testing the Yoi logo in Digital Jungle on branches. So yeah.
so why is it silver if it's a jungle?
Maybe like
God.
silver is like cursed silver. I don't know.
The more I look at it, the more angry it makes me.
Yeah, it's just weird. It's a bit odd.
Just like if the vines were just green/brown
Green?
and the leaves were brown, it would look. Oh, the leaves were green, it would look. It would look much more. It would look like it's much like going in the direction of some kind of atmospheric identity. But like that,
it just looks cheap, in my opinion.
Is trying
the
to
colorway of it. No, there's no saving silver. Let's be honest.
Wait. Okay. Let me share my screen a second. So yeah, we was looking at this before we started, but so we've got like Goliath there. So I'm guessing so the new coaster's going Yoi is pretty much constructed.
Yoi.
It's going there. So am I right in thinking if someone's in chat, do they know this? Do you think are they going to link up this like main this pathway so this is not like a dead end anymore? Because that was the worst. Was this whole place linked up? And you go all the way down here for like.
Yeah, because it's quite a big path all the way to Goliath, like a path to nowhere. So obviously they've stuck Eat My Dust on there, but then it wouldn't make any sense to just have this random dead end.
Yeah, Bart said there'll be a new path. So
yeah, that's good because that would then create like a whole big loop to go around.
Yeah, it was a bizarre thing to go all that way and be like, oh, okay, we have to go all the way back again.
It's interesting.
I say all that way like it wasn't a minute and a half walk, but I'm lazy.
Well, I need to go to the toilet. Sorry, guys. I'm gonna nip out.
Yeah, no. I said this. I can't remember what episode it was, but just on Yoi in general, I genuinely think that the blue side is going to be the side that everyone prefers on it, because
do you reckon?
Yeah, like solidly, because where was it that I saw? Like I saw like some stats released of it, and obviously the entire layout got shown at IAPA last week.
Yeah, we had a look at the layout last week, didn't we?
Yeah, it's the same height, it's the same speed. The height difference between the bottom and the top of like all the airtime hills on the blue side looks even greater than, you know, like how it looks like the green side had maintained its speed through its inversions. People are going to prefer the airtime moments on.
Do you know what? You're probably right, because I think when you think
blue side for the airtime,
it's only a family. But when you think it's still an RMC and it's still, like you say, if it's matching the height of the other side, like it's going to give some great pops of airtime over some of them hills. And it probably will be more fun, because sometimes, like we said this before, like inversions for the sake of inversions, like sometimes it's just like it's a bit monotonous and repetitive, and it's a bit like you don't get much from it, you know. And inversions can be quite forceless sometimes. Whereas, people probably, I think I would favour the little fun pops of airtime over just, I don't know, like an inline twist or something like that.
I wish.
You're probably right. It'd be interesting to see. Like, I'm also as well. Like, I've been to Wallaby Holland once, and I didn't particularly like it. It gave me Thorpe Park vibes, like Thorpe Park a couple of years ago, where I didn't like the vibe of it, and it just felt a bit off.
Yeah, that's what.
But now this is giving me a reason to.
That's why I laughed at Bart's comment saying there's no theme yet. Probably sea containers and graffiti, because that's all I've seen of Wallaby Holland is just graffiti on random walls.
It's a strange place because, I mean, it doesn't. For me, like Goliath was the standout coaster there for me. I didn't like particularly rate Untamed. It was just a bit painful for me, but that's me. But it had a weird vibe. It was like a Thorpe Park vibe. There was lots of like groups of teenagers, and it was just, there was nothing like a theme park supposed to be a little bit like of a magical day. It was nothing like that about it. So it was one of those places that I wouldn't rush to go back to. However, they put Eat My Dust in, which just looks fun, and it's called Eat My Dust. So why would you not want to ride it? And to put this in as well, I'd be really interested to probably go there. If I was going over to the Netherlands to do some other parks, I'd probably try and fit it in now.
I really liked Wallaby Holland.
What did you like about it?
I thought it to me, it felt like, I mean, when I was there, I was like, this is what Thorpe Park's trying to be. And I feel like they actually managed to do it, which is like kind of a feel good party type of atmosphere. Obviously, it helped that, I did my first RMC at that park. So
yeah, same. So I was hyped going into it.
But no, I mean, when we first got there, we literally went through that because you go through that like building, don't you, to get into the main park. And I remember I think I've told this story before on here. But
did you go in the cupboard?
Yeah, there's a wardrobe, and then I was just like, someone was like, go in the wardrobe, and then I went in the wardrobe, and it was a flipping rave, and I was like, this is amazing. I was like, what? I was like, I did not expect this to happen. So it was just like, maybe that set me up to be like, okay, this is pretty cool.
I don't know. I prefer Wallaby Belgium over Wallaby Holland, and like it does not even on rides because I don't like Honda, so it's not but I felt Wallaby Belgium just had a nicer vibe.
I still think that's crazy.
I definitely think I preferred as a park. I preferred Wallaby Holland, but as you see, it's not got a great coaster lineup. Belgium has either, but Condo is probably better than anything. That's that.
Well,
Holland.
If you didn't like Untamed that much, how do you?
Well, that's it. I didn't like Untamed. I didn't like Condo. So there's one thing. Like the standout coasters that's supposed to be at each park. Like I didn't rate. So in terms of ride lineup, it's nothing to do with that. It was just the atmosphere and the feel of the place just didn't do it for me. It could have just been an off day, or the way I was feeling, or something like that. But I just didn't come away from it being like that was a great day. I was like, it was all right. Like I wouldn't rush back.
So you don't like Untamed, and Wallaby Belgium could be seen as not having a great coastal lineup. What if they RMC'd Loop Garou?
What if? Mikhail, what a segue. I see what you did there.
I had that lined up in my head for like the past 10 minutes.
I mean, it's no secret. I fucking hate Loop Garou. There's photo evidence. Me and Joanne did not have a good time on Loop Garou. And I don't really know anyone that does, to be honest. So there's whispers that they're in talks with RMC, and I couldn't be happier, to be honest. Thank fuck.
Yeah. So if not Untamed, what about Untamed 2.0?
I mean, I don't know the stats of the rides, but like Loop Garou was taller, right?
Did it come up today in a Loopings article? That
why are you lying? It's not cool to lie.
That the park are wanting to.
It's needed.
They're considering it, or they straight up want to do it.
Well, yeah, they've gone.
They're in talks.
Well, they've gone on a mad one at the minute. They're like announcing like they're getting rid of multiple rides and stuff like this. So it definitely needs a refresh. Like
never get rid of those rapids. Those rapids are my favorite rapids ever.
Rapids are great.
Death trap, absolute death trap in the best way.
Yeah. But yeah, they've got a few old rides that just like they're not even like heritage rides. They're just like a bit jank as fuck. So, yeah, they could definitely do with that being RMC. I remember coming off it going like I didn't think it was as bad as a lot of you guys thought it was. Like I didn't enjoy it, but I was kind of like I wasn't excited about it, but I didn't think it was the worst thing. The only thing that was bad about it was like the restraints just kept.
They get tighter and tighter. It was like they were trying to amputate your legs. It was awful. But me and Joe sat at the front row and it was vile. It just bounced around the whole thing. And the lap bar's just getting tighter. So it's like you're trying to enjoy it, but you're just screaming, like instead of like, no. Hated it.
Yeah. So that's the thing.
So they are I'm trying to find
what you're looking at.
I was trying to find the article. Just trying to see when they if they gave a year of like what year they would want it to open, if they were looking at 26 or later or anything. I don't think they mentioned it in the Loopings article, but
I'd said that the chain did previously announce that they're in talks with RMC about Zeus, and that ended up being Gravity Group. So I think it really is just talks at this point.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
They're probably getting a few different quotes and designs and stuff. So,
they said So it'll operate as Loop Guru next season. So yeah, it seems like they're in like just early talks.
Quick, everybody will rush to Wallaby Belgium and get those last rides in on Loop Guru. You don't want to miss it.
I mean, it makes sense.
I mean, hey, that's get the cred.
It makes sense if they're doing Yoi and they've already done Untamed. They've obviously got that good a relationship with them, so it makes sense.
Well, yeah, because I bet Untamed did bits for Wallaby Holland. Really, I mean, in terms of visitors and attendance, I'm sure it did bloody great. So it'd be a non-brainer, really, for Belgium to do the same thing.
But there we go. Nice. I'll look forward to doing Yoi. I've only done one RMC single rail. That was Jersey Devil.
Yeah, I've done Flight of Courage at Six Flags Magic Mountain. I actually really liked it. Like, it was really fun.
Jersey Devil was fun.
It
definitely was fun. I just don't know if it's just a very different experience being in your own carriage. Like, you just by yourself.
Does it take the fun element away? Like, because coasters are more fun with friends, obviously. So if you've not got someone sat next to you,
it's just very different. It's just very different, and it's just a.
I like T-posing in it. like we had a group of us when I went to when I did the what was it called, well, just the California Stumble with Buzz Bars Coaster Club. Like, we had a group of us, like, all like fill up, well, we had ERT on Flight of Courage in the morning, and like every group, like, it was every train just fill up with us, just T-posing around the entire layout. It was great.
I feel like it's a natural thing to do. I do the same when I go on like a bobsleigh. Like when I go on Avalanche, it's just like arms out because you can. Okay, you have to put your arms out.
Yeah.
What was that? Matt said, what was the single? What was that one that's just opened up that you just did? What's it called? Because that looked insane.
Ronald.
Is it Mahuka that he's done?
Mahuka.
Yeah, was that the one? Yeah,
that was great. I really want to ride that.
It looks incredible. Like,
yeah, it does.
It's supposed to be like 1,000 times better than the one at Sydney Luna Park as well. That's the one.
It looks like a full scale coaster, but because it's a single, it's like miniature. But then it's like it looks like it's giving you the same forces as like a coaster that should be like twice the size of the footprint. You know, it looks so good. Like, I really am intrigued by that.
I feel like someone didn't expect it to run as fast as it does, because it looks like it runs insane.
Yeah, just
like way faster than it was actually. Maybe not designed to run, but like the original intention of that ride.
Claire said it's bouncy as fuck, but it's so fun. Yeah. Do you mean bouncy as in like it feels like the coaster itself, the track is bouncing, or like airtime bouncy? Like, I'm intrigued by that.
Vibrating bouncy.
Yeah, like more.
What kind of bouncy, Claire? Be more specific.
God damn it!
Make or break it.
Yeah.
But no.
Well, me and Joe are doing a lot less festivals next year, so that money will be spent on going and getting more creds.
Yeah, I am already eyeing up my opening weekend trip.
You going to Fantasyland?
No, I'm going to Too Cold.
What do you mean?
I want to go in the summer to Fantasyland because I want to do River Quest, so I'm going to wait till it's warmer. I was going to go to PA for opening weekend until I realised that Ferrari-land isn't open till April. So that made me really mad. But then I was like, actually, Park Warner and Park Day Attractions is open. Nice. I'm going to go do that so I could do Batman. And it's warm-ish, warmer. It's going to be warmer than Blackpool. So I think that's going to be my first trip of the year in March. I'm excited. I didn't go anywhere this year. I've slackened. I looked at my cred count. I think I've only had like 20 new creds this year, and that is a poor show for Emma.
I really want to go Part 1 of Madrid, but it's so, for me, it feels weird being in Spain and not being near water. So I'm like, it just seems
I
need a
go the rapids, same thing.
Yeah, cool. So yeah, I think we come to the end of the show. I think
that's a nice wrap up.
Yeah, that's it. Let's wrap it up, really. You did actually say, Mikhail, you said you wanted me to give my opinion on King Dakar?
Oh yeah. Yeah, because you haven't been here for fucking I don't know how long at this point. Yeah, I just had the thought of like what you think of the news of King Dakar closing. Given that you just was it this year that you wrote it or last year?
Last year, yeah, last summer.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was like well, it was obviously surprising, but not surprising. It was surprising to start hearing all the rumors that were going around. You know, when the content creators were getting told one thing. So that was fun drama to follow.
That was hilarious to follow.
That drama was just mental. For those of you who don't know, like obviously there was a lot of. I mean, like even El Toro Ryan was saying the same, and I was like, I trust El Toro Ryan. Like, I don't think he that's what cemented it for me, because I was like, who is telling the truth here? Like, well, I didn't think no one was not telling the truth, but I was like, where is the source coming from? But yeah, kind of believed it. But yeah, when it got finally announced, I just thought it was incredibly sad. I think incredibly sad because it's like, a legendary coaster going, and loads of people are not going to be able to experience it. Like just it's suddenly happening was just.
I think that's the worst bit in it. Like there was no goodbye.
Like give us at least a year, like for people to like plan to go and do like a bucket list coaster, or like. But then it's just, yeah. I think it was. It's just the wrong way to do it. Like, I don't see why they did it that way.
Yeah, I'd love to know the thinking behind it. Like, what was the reason that they decided to keep it quiet? Like, obviously there was a reason, but
I saw somewhere online is like they wouldn't be able to cope with the amount of people. Like, that's what I read somewhere. Where I was like,
had it become? I don't know. Had it become like increasingly more like unreliable in like recent months?
I think it's always been pretty.
It's all is.
But is it more so like? Was it having more downtime than up? Like
probably. I don't know for sure, but I would imagine like. I could imagine
maybe they just wanted to avoid, like you said, like people traveling hours and hours or from another country to do the rides for it not to be open and then kick up a stink about it.
Like, yeah, I can't. That's the only thing in my head that I can imagine them to be like. From an operations standpoint, we can't have 2-hour queues, and it being shut down and then the whole park. But then I'm like, yeah, but you're a theme park, like just they can go on other attractions. Like, yeah, they're not promised that you're going to get on something on that day. So I don't know, like I just feel sad. I'm obviously glad that I got to go and do it from a selfish point of view. It doesn't normally happen, but I just thought it was incredible. Like I said it in my vlog what went out last year and everything, but like I've just never experienced anything like that. And I think the only thing that could probably top it would have been Top Thrill Dragster. I'd have loved to experience Top Thrill Dragster. But people are like comparing it, going, well, Stealth Launch is better. I'm like, this fuck is not. Have you seen the size difference? Like, it makes a difference. Like, how tall it goes, the twist drop, all that sort of stuff. It had a big impact on me. And there's just not many coasters where like you have like a physical high off it when you like the first time you go on it. Like, like me and Joe were like speechless after we did it. We were like, oh my god, like that thing was a force. And also like Sumanjaro, is Sumanjaro it's called?
Yeah, that can fuck off. I wouldn't give a fuck about that. Like zero interest. Wouldn't ride it anyway.
Incredible. Like that experience was incredible. Like honestly,
anything worse.
It's got the longest. It's probably on par with like Zarja for longest queue of longest empty queue in the world. You have to obviously go all the way past car and then loop around the back.
Oh god, that would make me not want to do it even more. I'd be like, I'm lazy as well.
It's literally all there is to look at in that area as well. Like you just walking through the entire queue line, just looking, just look off to your left at the big.
Oh god, no.
And it was funny because we got all the way there and then it was broken. There was like engineers on it, and well, as we got there, there's people like that loaded the trains and they got off and then they just left, and then we was waiting there for ages, and then an engineer came and we were like, should we walk back and come do it? Like, we was like, nah, if we go now, we'll never do it. So let's just like, I'm not doing that walk.
I'd been like, let's go. What a shame. Bye bye.
We finally got on it, went up, and then just like. as you get got to the top,
No.
and then you just see the train like speeding down like so far away towards you, and then it just feels like it goes so close to you.
Now that would have made me like Zumanjaro a lot more.
Does it make it shake?
Mm.
Oh,
It's like proper
no.
shaky.
Like
And it
just
sounds shaky.
like that moment of seeing it, because like it wasn't doing that when I wrote it.
Mm.
Like they hadn't. When I wrote it was a few years away before they decided to like make that actually a thing.
Yeah.
And like to see like the train just come flying up.
I would have had my eyes open. I wouldn't have seen it anyway.
And then to have it like be like shaking and swaying
like,
and shit, like
it's
that would have
just so
been
weird because
that
you
would've
hear you hear like people
that would've been
screaming like really
horrific,
far
but in, like,
away.
the best way.
Ugh.
Yeah, you hear them screaming really far away, and then before you know it, they're over your head.
Yeah.
And you can see him on the track, and you're like, "This is just insane." Like I don't know, it's hard to compute in your head like what's happening,
Especially if you're not at the top of the if
Yeah.
you're not already at the top of the towers on Zumanjaro. If you're like halfway up, you're seeing like if you're at the top, you're seeing it like slow down as it gets to the top and then like come over here. If you're like halfway up the tower and you just see that shit just go boom, just straight past you.
Oh,
and then
it was
down the other side. That shit, like that would be. I don't really care for Zumanjaro. I think the drop's weak as hell, honestly. Like, it's very cool being that high up, but then Great Adventure is in such a remote area to where like you can barely see anything up at the top unless it's really clear and you can see New York City. Yeah, like the drop itself was just not really much of anything in my opinion, but like having that extra visual of seeing Kingda Ka just fly past you and then fly down past you again, that'd have made it really fun.
It was so cool. It was such a good experience. I mean, like obviously they had a lot of issues when they first built it onto the side of it. They couldn't launch it at all, could they, with people on it and stuff. So that was just an absolute dumb thing to do. It's like, there's literally no point. Like, it's just a drop tower then. Like, it doesn't and the thing is with drop towers, at a certain point, like, it doesn't really matter about height. Like,
it fucking does. It does.
No,
it's
once you get to a certain height, it all looks the same. Like, it doesn't.
No, it doesn't.
I keep saying I can't remember. It must have been like around. It was 2018, 2019 when I rode. What's the one at Carowinds? Drop Zone, I think it's called. Little tiny fucking thing, like it must have been like 100 and some feet tall or something like that. Like it's not tall in the grand scheme of drop towers, but it had one of the best drops. So I'm just like, these smaller drop towers.
Smaller ones do, from my
look at like Detonator at Thorpe Park.
Jolly Roger at Pleasurewood Hills. Jesus,
that's a good one, yeah.
Like, do the smaller ones just have like more forceful drops than the taller ones?
Yeah, I just think it's the way. I think like I don't know. I think there's just more force on the smaller ones because it's like it's over like faster. I don't know. Like I don't know what it is. I bet there's a scientific thing about it.
Don't like the older Fabry ones. Didn't they have like a push?
Yeah, they used to have a push. I don't think Detonator does it anymore, but yeah, they used to have.
No, it doesn't.
Does it not?
No, I don't think it does anymore.
No, don't get me wrong. It's still
that's what made it so good.
Yeah, that's what I got told. It doesn't have that anymore. It might be untrue, but I don't know. But yeah, it's just with Kingda Ka, sad. I haven't got much faith in them replacing it with anything better because Top Thrill 2, you know, like I mean, obviously when that's running, if it does, I mean, that's just the worst thing now is with Top Thrill 2 is like we don't know what's going on.
It's all gone quiet again. Hasn't it?
Like, hopefully it comes back because I remember us talking about it. It had such good reviews when it operated. What was it? A day it operated? I can't remember now. Like
day or two. It wasn't very long, was it?
It was like 4 or 5 days or something.
Like 4 or 5 days. But like, there's no point having a coaster that doesn't run. But you're just not gonna beat a hydraulic launch that tall. Like that is just its own thing.
The one thing, like Kingda Ka definitely has the most unique launch that I've ever experienced, in the sense that I've never ridden another launch coaster, whether it be a hydraulic LIM, LSM, compressed air launch, whatever the case, where it felt like 3 launches in one. And you've ridden it now, you know what I'm talking about. It launches you,
and it
for like half a second, and then accelerates again, and then accelerates again. I've never felt that on any other launch coaster that I've done. It was weird. It was weird. So it was not what I was expecting at all. I was like, what the fuck is it doing?
The force you feel at the bottom, as you're going, you start going up, like it's just like a ton of bricks.
Yeah.
Just insane. But it's one of them. Like I wish I'd done more than 2 rides on it. We had the opportunity to, but we wanted to like go. They do like El Toro, and then we tried to get a sunset ride in it, but it broke. So we got one on El Toro instead, which was. I'm glad we did that, because it put El Toro, like, ranked it a lot higher after doing that sunset ride. It was really good. But
I think the reason why I'm not quite as bothered about it as I think I would have been if it had closed maybe like 6 or 7 years ago is just like my preferences have changed so much.
Yeah, like I'm not going to miss King Dakar. Do you know what I mean? Like there's nothing.
I'm definitely glad I got to ride it, though.
Yeah. Like I don't see myself going back to that park just to ride King Dakar. I
think for me,
but
I mean, there was no chance that I was going to go ride it soon anyway. But like King Dakar falls into that category of like iconic legacy coasters that for like when we were kids that you'd see on TV or you'd read in books. So for something like King Dakar, I wasn't going to get there and ride it, but it like makes me sad because it's just one of those core memories from growing up that you'd see it all the time, and like it's frustrating as well because when like another coaster was Escape from Krypton, same thing. You'd see it on telly and stuff. Been SBNO and stuff, and it's just like it makes you worried, doesn't it? Because we're like at that age now where some of these coasters are like potentially coming to the end of their shelf life, and it's hard to go and
like,
do it.
Magic Mountain, like all their coasters, half of their lineup could just break tomorrow, to be honest,
bro.
Well, yeah, because X2's up there with it as well, isn't it? So
there's a chance that I might get down to LA in February. There's a chance. I don't know if it's going to happen yet, but there's a chance. I swear to God, if I get back to Magic Mountain and Viper and Riddler's Revenge are closed again, I'm gonna punch someone in the jaw.
Call the police.
Because
call the police. It's a hate crime. It's a hate crime.
I have both of them. Luckily, I have ridden both of those before, but 13 years ago. So I want to go back and see if they're as good as I remember, because I love both. They were both awesome when I rode it, and those are two, especially Viper, that is definitely in that realm of, oh, is it like, do we need this ride here? Can we get rid of it and put something like more modern there? Like, is it coming to the point where it's like we can afford to get rid of it? Like, is it going to become inoperatable, if that's even a word, in the next few years? I just know, like, that is one that's on like the quote unquote chopping block, and I'm like, I swear to God, if you not get rid of this fucking ride before I get to ride it again.
Well, because it's Six Flags on the warpath, it seems. Yeah. They're just like, we need to consolidate all our portfolio, cut out the fat.
They're making a lot of aggressive decisions.
They're deleting Green Lantern Great Adventure as well.
It's just like, so there's a lot of stuff that could probably just go. And,
I mean, and just like looking at Matt's comment in the chat, like to end on, it makes a good point. Like, to go full circle, this is why we should be praising Merlin for looking after Nemesis.
100%.
It's completely right. It's a legacy coaster for the UK, like some of these. And as much as everyone goes, oh, it's just been a reject, if it was gone, we'd miss it.
Oh God,
so, Merlin do good things. People need to remember that. Doo-doo.
100%.
Thank you, Merlin. Thank you. But no, that's good. All right, we'll leave it there then. Thanks everyone for joining us. Good to see everyone again. I'm just going to double check my calendar just so I don't like.
Sean will now be MIA for the next 3.5 months.
No, I'm free. No,
the rest of the year.
That's it. He's had his fill. It's filled his quota.
I have this habit of going see you next week and then realizing that's something in the calendar. But no, I'm free now. So yeah, let the close season.
Oh yeah, closing weekend this weekend at Blackpool.
Yeah, hope everyone has a good time.
Oh god, I'm getting so drunk. I've had the worst few weeks, man. I am going full on feral barrel. I don't care.
I wish we were joining you.
Barrel.
Honest to God, I don't care anymore. I'm doing like it's me and Matt. We're going for it. Like that's it. But I will see those of you in the chat that are going. I will see you this weekend. Not Friday night though. So if you could all keep your Friday night spoons drama for the Saturday until I get there, greatly appreciated. Thanks.
Yeah, we won't be there, but I hope you all have a good one. And yeah, we'll see you next week.
Oh, I'll see you, Bart. I forgot about you. No offense. I forgot about you. Yes, Bart. Anyway, bye.
All right then. See you everyone. Bye.